Welcome back to the Angus Report. I'm Crystal Albers. I'm joined today in the studio by two familiar faces here, Dr. Dan Moser of Angus Genetics Incorporated and Dr. Kent Andersen of Zoetis. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about GeneMax Focus, and I know we've talked about that before on the program, but let's revisit. Dan, just give the viewers out there, what is GeneMax Focus?
Well, Crystal, GeneMax Focus is the first commercial test developed by Zoetis and AGI and also the Certified Angus Beef program to allow producers to use genomics in a commercial setting. Our seed stock breeders are very familiar with using these tools in their breeding programs, and commercial producers are familiar, of course, with buying genomically tested bulls. But a product like GeneMax Focus allows them to apply genomics in a commercial setting in replacement heifer selection. And
there were some updates too in 2016, I understand. Kent, what were those?
Yeah, Crystal, so those are predicated on our work with Angus seed stock and the version 5 calibration that included over 100,000 animals, Dan. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we refreshed GeneMax Focus by selecting a new and most informative possible set of markers. We also recalibrated the marker effects for GeneMax Focus. And then we also updated, with the help of our partners at Angus Genetics Inc., the economic assumptions associated with the GMX index. We expanded the reference population against which animals are compared. And because of advancement in the ability to genotype animals and the added markers, we also added 2 traits. So now we report genomic predictions for weaning weight and carcass weight, along with gain and quality grade that were previously included in the product.
And so with those changes, what does that ultimately mean for the product itself, and then maybe how producers are using that?
Crystal, I think it just means that the product is more informative than ever before. It includes more traits, and also we explain more of the variation in each trait with the expanded marker set and the newly calibrated marker effects.
Okay, and so Dan, give us an example, a specific example of kind of how a producer would then use this product.
Sure, Crystal. For a commercial producer that wants to improve end product quality and feedlot performance, traits like that, this test is designed exactly for that. So they would want to test replacement heifers that are candidates to put back in the herd, and probably do that at a time prior to when they're going to make those selection decisions. Where they'd want to test any of those heifers that are candidates for replacements, and then once the results are returned, have the ability then to go through and sort those heifers and find out which ones have the greatest genetic potential for traits like feedlot performance and end product quality.
So kind of start making those decisions much before the breeding season.
Absolutely.
Kent, why is it more important now than ever really for commercial producers to be using a tool like GeneMax Focus?
Sure, Crystal. I would also offer that even though GeneMax Focus doesn't include the maternal traits, thanks to Angus Genetics Inc.'s work for the sire match component, if the bull battery has been HD or I50K tested, we can tell the customer specifically which bull produced which heifer, and then they'll know the EPDs associated with the sires and can err on the side of selecting those heifers or out of sires that are also strong in the maternal traits. Mm-hmm. So I think now more than ever, with the decline in fed and feeder cattle prices and the economic pressures that are imposed on our commercial users of Angus genetics, taking advantage of new technologies to make the best selection decisions possible, breed those to the best bulls possible to complement weaknesses and to accentuate strengths, and then further down the supply chain, use that to help inform feeder cattle marketing, are all benefits, and the price of GeneMax Focus is $17, so it's a very affordable tool to use to improve production efficiency.
Dan, what kind of process is it to collect DNA samples for commercial producers?
So for a commercial product like GeneMax Focus, there's really 3 options in terms of collecting samples. That we can use blood samples that are collected oftentimes with just a prick of the ear on a blood card. We can work with hair samples, or we can use the Allflex tissue sampling units, which is very similar to an ear tagger that puts a tissue sample in a capsule, and then that's shipped in and used for the testing.
Excellent. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you both for joining us. If you'd like to learn more about GeneMax Focus, be sure to visit the website, as Kent mentioned, angus.org or zoetisgenetics.com. We'll return after this.
My name is Jim Collins with Collins Farms here in Casita, Alabama. We've been in the business for 70 years and focus on making functional commercial Angus females and balanced trait Angus bulls that we market across the Southeast. While we're predominantly a commercial herd, we run 300, 350 commercial cows and 60 to 75 purebred cows. We were very interested when we first heard that GeneMax was coming to the market for commercial animals, and we started with GeneMax Focus. We've been using the GeneMax Advantage ever since it was launched. We've used the HD50K and I50K products on the purebred side of it. Currently, all of our purebred animals are I50K tested, and then all of our commercial heifers are GeneMax Advantage tested. And we'll probably now go back and do GeneMax Advantage on the rest of our older mature cows so that I'll have that full pool of results on our entire commercial herd.
Learn more at GeneMaxAdvantage.com.